What is up, YouTube? We are back. Welcome to my stream. I'm Peter Roman. We're developing a AAA game. Let me just make sure I'm live. Yes, I said AAA game. For all of you haters out there who are saying it's not going to be a AAA game, watch it be a AAA game, boy. Alright? I just gotta instill certainty in myself that we are live. I see that we are live on here, so it seems like it's the case. However, let me turn on the volume. However, I would like to be able to see down here. Okay, that's YouTube Studio. I would just like to, yep, we're live, baby. Let's go. Alright, sounds good. Nice. Okay. Where was I? What was I explaining? AAA game. This is the demo. Building out the level right now so you guys can have a good time playing it. I was pretty much just working on the mechanics the past 4 days on stream. I worked maybe 1 or 2 days before I started streaming on like the level design, and I did some coding and implementing some scripts into this level that you see here. If this is your first time here, I will go over kind of the gist of what's going on. This is the Aeroboticar. I designed this in engineering school. Well, I started the project in engineering school in 2018. It is now 2025. I just filed for the patent in 2023. I had about 20 or so iterations of going through what I thought a flying car should look like and function like. This is realistic, so all the physics is appropriate for real world manufacturing, as you can see back there. I could probably bring that closer to you guys, but then I would have to take all that stuff off the top. It's on my Instagram. I'm not gonna bring it over here, but that'd be pretty cool on stream to bring it closer. I could probably zoom on it. See it right there? It looks small. It's actually big. If I brought it closer, it would look bigger. Let me just readjust that. So yeah, engineering school was hard. I was like figuring out what I wanted to do with my life. I was like, what's the hardest possible thing I could think of that I will never get bored of and always be striving for? Because growing up, you know, it was all girls. How can I get a girlfriend? What do I have to do to get her to like me? I finally got like the girl of my dreams a few times in 2nd grade, then again in 6th grade or 7th or 8th, throughout middle school, then again in high school twice. And then I was finally like, you know what? It was hard, but it was relatively doable, you know, and I wanted a real challenge, something that was going to be, and don't curse me for this, okay? I don't want my life to be ridiculously hard. I just wanted something that was a little bit more difficult to attain than something that I was kind of easily attaining, you know? So I was like, what's the hardest thing I can imagine? You know, if life's a video game, then like what's the storyline? I don't think about life in the traditional sense that your parents will tell you growing up, like, oh, get a job, get a house, get married, blah, blah, blah. I literally live in my mom's basement. I don't give a crap about social status or I mean, I care about social status, but I don't care about like what people think about my situation. Because if I sat down and explained it to you, it would make perfect sense. Um, so, anyways, I picked the hardest thing I can think of, which is bringing flying cars to reality. We don't have flying cars. I like brands like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Wendy's, Tesla, Facebook, Microsoft, Meta, Instagram. I just like living, breathing organisms that make money. And when I say money, money is not the piece of paper. Okay, just like when you go to college, people are like, "Oh, you just get a piece of paper from college." No, if you did college right, you would get more than a piece of paper. You would get skills, knowledge, all the valuable things about learning about where we are, asking big, deep questions that you don't normally have the time to ask and ponder about. You study the universe. But the same thing goes for the economy. People think that the piece of paper is money. No, money, um, it was said best by Elon Musk. He said that uh, money or the economy is the actual goods or services that a person provides. Okay, so for example, this video game, there I could throw as much money as possible at something like this, but if the right person isn't working on it and has the skills to do it exactly how I want it, doesn't matter how much money I throw at it, it's not going to come out the same. But that's not the point. What I was trying to say is this right here, what I'm doing is the money. So even though, um, you know, I take back what I was about to say. There is a dollar amount associated with the skills that I am doing, that I have to accomplish this goal of creating this video game. So when this is finished, even when it's unfinished, like getting to this point, there's a certain dollar amount that this is worth. Okay? So as long as I'm working on something, I don't care where I live, as long as I have a roof over my head. I think as long as I'm providing some sort of service or good to society or benefit to society, which this provides in the form of entertainment, marketing, advertising for these Aeroboticars that I designed in CAD, that came out really good and are manufacturable in all physical senses of the word, um, then I feel like even though I'm not employed by some company, I am self-employed and I do things on my own, in my own political way, because at the end of the day, it is all political. Like when you're an entrepreneur, selling your idea and advertising it and making it work, there has to be some sort of market for it. You can call it politics, you can call it business, you can call it either of those two, but it's essentially the same thing. You're getting votes. When you're in business, you're getting people are voting with their dollars for your idea. So when you're an entrepreneur and you have an idea and you put it out into the world, you can, especially now with the internet, you can see how many people like it, how many people view it, how many people are interacting with it. You can kind of just get the vibe if you're on the right track of doing something that society wants. Okay. Well, where was I going with that? So yes, I guess I'm just flexing. um there are some videos, if you go to my website, there are some videos associated with this design. So this is my website. Here's the CAD designs for it. lorenzero.com, buy a shirt if you want to support. But there is this video that I show people. This is my design. It's just a little bit enhanced with AI. The same way I'm prompting Gemini to create the code, I plugged in pictures of my designs and I told it to give me like basically the next level, the next step in evolution of the trajectory of where I was going. This, what you see, would cost a lot of money. It does cost a lot of money to create. It's just that I hit a limit to what I was capable of doing in terms of CAD. Okay. I think at one point I was like, this is good enough. You're 80-90% there. You know, Pareto's principle, 80% you, 20% them. We can work together. You don't have to do everything all alone. So I used Pareto's principle to come up with the last 20%, which is kind of just pushing it over the finish line. So that's what it's going to look like in real life. The blue things are not water. I show this to people. It's not water. It's what kind of technology is that? That could be like ion thrusters or hydrogen fuel, hydrogen combustion fuel or something like that. Technology. I mean, what AI is imagining here is way into the future. So I'm really early, but I want to be in the future already, and the best way to predict the future is to create it. And I think that's a quote somewhere. Someone said that sometime. So yeah, that's the vision. That's kind of the story behind the Aeroboticar. Started engineering school, working on it for 7 years now. And ever since I got that video that you just saw, it kind of gave me the push over the edge. Like, damn, now we have a North Star. This was our North Star before, the model in the back and this. I mean, that was the display that people had, like, in the world. I had the vision that you saw on this camera for years. Like, since I started this, I was like, this is what I envision. Literally, what you saw was what I had in my head 8 years ago, but I just got it to be able to be manifest into the real world recently. Okay, so this video game is sort of I don't want to say advertisement, okay, because that word sounds like too corporate-y or like too like give me your money. This is literally going to be maybe $10 to play the demo. It might even be free. I don't know. I might put a paywall on my website because this is going to live on my website. I haven't thought of the logistics or the economics yet. Depending how much I develop this game. If you guys want a $10 game, that's going to cost more. If you guys want a free game, it's going to be free. Freakonomics. Someone joined and left. Thank you for joining for that split second. I appreciate you checking it out. I appreciate everyone who stops by. It's not even like live. People might join live while I'm streaming, but what happens is I post this and then people watch it after it got published. So I appreciate you if you're watching this after it get published as well. Now, where were we? Off stream. Oh yeah, this is the cameras, the Lorenz entity structure, whatever. This is what I CAD'd. You know, you have your frame. It's really detailed. Okay, you can literally build this in real life right now. I did this all myself. Had no help from anybody. I mean, other than like the computer engineers who made computers, because this is computer aided design. So the computer engineers aided me in letting me use a PC. But then again, I did buy the PC, so arguably I did this all myself. The door triggers, do I need that? Oh, the door triggers are right here. Let's move that. Actually, let's leave it where it is. Player entity. It has a gun on it. So this is going to be a first-person shooter, third-person flight game. Here's the camera for when the level starts. And while I was off, while I was not streaming this morning, the flight control shooting stuff was bothering me, so I just switched it back. So let's launch the game, show you guys the demo so far. This is just the mechanics, okay? So no storyline yet. I mean, the buildings should tell you where the story's gonna develop towards, but I had to figure out all the JavaScript, which, by the way, this right here, if you go to code editor, go to first person movement script, there is right here, you can see there are 700 lines of code for what I have so far. This includes shooting, jumping, aiming down sight. I'll show you. Moving the camera, that's a function in and of itself. Moving left and right, moving up and down into the world. These are all vectors, impulse vectors and all that stuff on the entity. Jumping, okay? You can aim down sight with your gun. You can shoot. You can see the bullet tracers. There's a muzzle flash as well as a sound effect for the shot. There's a crosshair. There's a crosshair right here, a reticle that I had to implement. That goes away when you aim down sight. A click button on empty. A click of sound effect function when it's empty. Reloading. Animation as well as, reloading the ammo, so it goes 30 out of 30 after it's empty. And then, so that's the player. Oh, and if you take damage, the health goes down. If you take damage too much, the screen, let me turn up the volume a little bit. The screen pulses red. And you could hear the panting, the guy breathing. And then it regenerates after 5 seconds. Pretty cool. So one thing that I implemented while I was off stream is that when you get in the Aeroboticar, you can fly around, IJKLWASD, and now when you press spacebar, it shoots. I don't know if you guys can hear my mom yelling in the background. She's like, "You have nothing to play with?" She's like, "You're just gonna shoot stuff all day?" I don't think she knows I'm developing this video game, that it's my game. I think she thinks I'm just playing a game, which I am, but it's my game, so it's a little bit different. You can press P to change perspective. To shoot, like what if the enemy is closer to you, you can change perspective and shoot when you're closer. And that's kind of all I have right now. Oh, and when you die, game over. It says game over. And the level resets. So the game relaunches and you respawn at the beginning with the Aeroboticar resetting and all that. So yeah, so where I am right now is that I have been prompting Gemini for a little bit. Last thing I said, okay, let's stick to your recommendation. What's next? What do I need to do? Excellent. Sticking with level 1 manager script. So let me just catch you guys up about how I've been prompting it. Actually, I wanna fake this for the stream. Because I did it off stream, but I was like, I need to pretend like I did this on camera so I can clip it, so I can get shorts views, on my YouTube channel. So let's just pretend real quick that let's just get into it. I'll just reenact it and pretend like it really happened. Alright, so here's the new code I just implemented into the Aeroboticar shoot feature. Let me parse Aeroboticar drone car controls. So car shoot sound and car tracer is there. Launch it. Let's see if it works. If I get into the Aeroboticar, And shoot. Oh, sick. Let's freaking go. The shoot function works. Let's change this to green. Hello? Yes. Dance time. Okay. Nice. Let's freaking go. Alright, we can stop pretending now. But I did want to just clip that because, you know, I want to get credit for that on YouTube Shorts. Muzzle flash entity. I could technically do a muzzle flash for the shot. I don't feel like doing that right now. I kind of just want to progress into the level. Muzzle flash entity, you guys want me to do that for some reason? Let's just copy and paste what we have here. So player, camera, gun model, barrel, muzzle flash. So copy this, put this on the camera. Where's the barrel end? Paste this here. Now I'm wondering if I can see it from this side. Huh. Do I need to do anything for that? Let's launch it and see if the muzzle flash is going to be there. It would be cool to have a muzzle flash. I don't see the muzzle flash though. Hold on, if I enable this, yeah, if I enable it, I can see it. So what's the difference? This one's, the only difference is it's enabled. Unless it's like just really small. Huh, weird. I can spend all day on this with you guys watching. Is this rotated? Why is that rotated? What? .9, 8.5. This isn't rotated, is it? So I don't get what's... Oh. There it is. Okay, I don't know what I did, but it enabled. Literally, I didn't do anything. I just clicked around and did absolutely nothing different. This was, I guess it just took a while to load or something. But let's disable it, launch the game. And the muzzle flash should be there. Let's go. X. Oh, I don't see the muzzle flash. I have to disable it because it enables and disables. Oh, you know what? I didn't add it to the attribute. Muzzle flash. Here. There you go. Parse that shit. Launch. Yep, awesome. Alright, that was fun. Should we do green? Oh, it's green already. Hold on. More green? More green? Hello? Are you changing? Let's go. Dance party. Alright, let's change it to blue. That's the second clip. Sick. That's probably the only 2 clips that we're going to get today, because the next part is it's probably going to give us a lot of errors. But you see this script right here, it's called Level 1 Manager. If you read the story, Level 1 Manager, see, it has all these entities that I have to create. All these entities that I have to attach to these attributes. Wait, are these attributes or entities? I think, well, they're attached to entities, but these are, no, these are entities. These are attributes. These are vec. Oh, that's a vec. That's a number. That's a number. String. I'm still learning. I mean, you know, I'm new at this video game developing thing. I mean, I'm not like new. Like, this is not my day one. I mean, how many days have I been going? I don't know. I guess maybe half a month. I mean, half a year. Half a month. 15 days. Like, I don't know how to calculate that. The first time I've been on PlayCanvas, I mean, I could probably answer that question, because there is, yeah, see, March 21st, 2022 was my first drone car simulator. Let's check it out. Let's go into the editor and play from there. See, like, this is, I don't even know what this is. Drone car. This is probably, this is like all out of whack. All out of scale, like, there's a drone car sim. When I just started doing drone car simulations and video games and stuff, I kept posting it, and my ex-girlfriend was like, why do you keep posting pictures of simulators on Instagram? I was like, because it's like a breakthrough in technology. Like, we're so acclimated to video games and technology and stuff. Look how long this is loading. That, like, you know, we take this for granted. You know, you're amazed when you're doing it, and then you show someone and they don't appreciate it as much as you do. You know? Is this ever gonna load? Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's from a long time ago. I was trying to show you guys, I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. This is like, look how horrible this one is. So yeah, to answer your question, 3 years of video game development, I guess. Like, thinking about it counts. Like, not actually doing it, but thinking about it. 3 years. When I was like, all right, let's look for a video game engine I can edit in and post on my website. I wanted to be web-based, which is why this is all in JavaScript. JavaScript is like the go-to web-based coding language. Nice. I just got $794. So yeah, here's, oh wow, this flies. But you see how it's like horrible? But there is AI, like, not AI, like soft, like, I guess it's called soft AI. There's like, you see those little flying cars zooming around. I wanted to demonstrate an 8-lane, 8-axis, 8 lane access. But yeah, see these tilt rotors animate and everything. Yeah, very horrible. I had this guy Alberto's from PlayCanvas, shout out, to help me out. But now with Gemini these days and AI and everything like that, I can kind of just do everything on my own. For the most part. I mean, sometimes I still reach out to forums, but let's go ahead and get into it, guys. I've been kind of avoiding this fate, but what I said, I basically told him the story. This right here, this long thing, I'm gonna read to you guys because it gives you the backstory for how we got to this point. So just catching you guys up. Hold on, let's backtrack. Before you start, give me the code. I'll type out the story and exactly what I want to happen, as much detail as possible. Here's the entire level design. It's basically just a very long stretch of road with buildings on either side with invisible boundary walls on the left, right, top, and bottom so that the player is guided along down the road. There's also a boundary behind spawn points so they can't go backwards. I am thinking that the player spawns has some sort of internal monologue with himself about finding his weapon by pressing a keyboard key, probably the 1 key. After that, he's told, let's head down the road. Maybe he lost his memory or something, and that's the developing story. He doesn't know where he is, but he's having fragments recollected as the story progresses. As he's headed down the road, enemy flying drones appear and he has to shoot them down. After that, he's like, oh, I must still be at war or something. Remember the Dr. Thorne Aeroboticar Uprising evil villain story you generated for me in a different chat? Keep that in mind. Insert some sort of story dialogue there. Then he gets to a break in the road where he takes damage if he walks into it. I can create an entity for this, and dialogue appears and he goes, oh, here's the Aeroboticar I built while deployed or something. I don't know, I want him to be a US Navy SEAL engineering dude, so develop some sort of backstory for when he designed the Aeroboticar. His internal monologue goes, the only way over this toxic marshland is with the Aeroboticar. He gets in by pressing X. The press X button gets in, and that triggers the Lorenz AI to wake up and talk to the dude, the player. I think I'm gonna call him Solon Vale from my book, The Solipsist. Shout out my book, The Solipsist. So this is all one universe. This book that I wrote, it's gonna be the same dude as the player. So if you want the backstory or a little bit of like the universe lore, you can read that book and kind of understand what's going on. They chat for a little to develop the story about what's going on with Dr. Thorne. Do they know who Dr. Thorne is at this point? I don't know, but it develops a story, and he goes, did you forget how to fly me? Here are the controls. IJKL, spam that to figure out how to go up, left, and right. Then after that, the user is done doing that. Lorenz AI says, now spam WASD to figure out what that does. After that quick tutorial, the boundary wall in front of them vanishes and the user is able to fly over the toxic marshland. As the user is flying, enemy drones appear again and the Lorenz AI says, enemies up ahead or something like that. Did you forget how to shoot? Press spacebar to fire. After that, enemies, which are separate from the first round of enemies in the beginning of the level, are dead. There is going to be a safe spot to land, and for whatever reason, maybe the player needs to retrieve something on foot. The Aeroboticar gets left behind, and the player continues on foot with more story developing dialogue along the way. Maybe introduce that the Lorenz AI can fly the Aeroboticar to the other side of the building while the player is inside to retrieve something. And that will meet each other on the other side happens. Then there will be a building that the player walks to retrieve whatever was established, and the Aeroboticar needs to be spawned at this new location on the other side of the building. You should probably write all this planning and coding with the necessary placeholders for future multi-step development, since this will be a multi-step prompt back and forth. And then when the player gets back in the Aeroboticar, this demo level sort of comes to some sort of to be continued story arc that develops into whatever you recommend the overall game to be. This what I wrote is the demo, and I just need to get core elements of the game established for the user in this demo so that the story makes sense. So you guys want to see my money? I just got this. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I already said it. I mean, you guys know. I don't want to show it because then it's gonna show like details, and I'd rather not. This is fantastic detailed outline. Thank you. This is exactly what we need to build a robust story progression. I wonder if I can make this guy. How do I make this? Here we go. Let's go. Fuck yeah.
My apologies for the glitch. You've uploaded two different approaches to the same problem. Option 2, JS, the one currently in your canvas, is the better and more professional architecture. Here's a simple breakdown of why. Option 2, your current canvas script, state-driven design. How it works. This script is a true state machine. It has a single, powerful function called setState. Analogy. Think of it like a director on a movie set. When you call setState, state_first_combat, the director, the switch block, barks out all the orders for that new scene. Cue the dialogue. Enable the spawner. Action. Why it's better. It's extremely clean. All other functions, like on trigger entered, are just spotters. Their only job is to run to the director and...
Wait. I enabled the wrong one. I need this one. After I read that, I want... Oh, it's not even there anymore. I can't even listen to it if I wanted to. So I'll read it. This is fantastic detail. I thank you. This is exactly what we need to build a robust story progression. You are 100% correct in your thinking. The game manager, the level 1 manager script, is a standard and most efficient way to handle this. It will act as the brain or quest giver for the entire demo. I'm going to update the level 1 manager file in the canvas to be the new brain for the entire story. It will be a state machine that tracks Solon's progress from the moment he spawns to the to be continued screen. This new script will have placeholders like to do for all the other systems we need to build, like the dialogue manager, enemy spawners, and simple triggers. This is the multi-step development plan you mentioned. Here's the new, much more detailed level 1 manager JS script. And then he crashed here. This was earlier, maybe 3 hours ago. He crashed. He gave me two codes. I was like, what's better? You know. He was like, my apologies for the glitch. You've uploaded two different approaches to the same problem. He ended up going with the one after he crashed. So that's just kind of what happened there. I was like, okay, let's stick to your recommendation. What's next? What do I need to do? Excellent. Sticking with that level 1 manager script is the right move. It's the brain for your entire demo. Right now, the brain is listening for events like game triggered entered or game weapon equipped, but none of your other scripts are firing those events. What's next is to create the nerves. We need to make your other scripts send signals to the brain. Here's the plan. Editor setup crucial. You need to put level 1 manager script on your root, which we did. It's over here. Or another global entity and link all its attributes in the editor. Create a trigger script. We'll make one new reusable script called generic trigger.js that you can put on your invisible trigger entities. Generic trigger, which I think is this right here. Yes, it is. Update first person will add the weapon equipped tutorial logic. Update switch will add the hooks to tell the manager when you exit the car. Let's do the first 3 steps right now. Editor setup. First in the PlayCanvas, select your root. Create. I did that. You must drag your entities, player, Aeroboticar, into these slots. We did that over here. Create the trigger script. This is a new simple script. Create a file named generic trigger.js. Generic trigger.js right here. And paste this code in it. You'll add the script to all your trigger entities. So I think this is the new one he wants. It's the same thing, but I just want to be on the same page as him. You will add the script to all your trigger entities, like trigger first combat, trigger marsh, etc. Make sure those entities also have a collision component that is set to trigger. So we can do that right now. New entity. This is going to be a trigger first combat entity. It's going to have a collision component on it. So physics collision. It's probably going to be around like the start, probably like right here. I don't know, like 20 units in. What's Y? Oh yeah, let's just do 1. And then scale it. Make the box like this. So when he walks into this trigger first combat, when the player walks into it, hold on, let's go like maybe 4.5 or so. So when this player entity walks into this collision component, it's going to trigger an event in the script that he wrote. So this could be 1. Actually, let's make it like, actually, I don't know. What's a good number? 5? This could be 5 as well. And this could be 6. So this is a trigger entity. You'll add the script to all your trigger entities. So this is a trigger entity, and now we add a script to it. So the script component, and then what he said is add generic trigger.js to it. Generic trigger.js. Parse that shit, see if anything pops up. Okay, so now I wonder if that does anything in the console. Let's see. So now when we open the console and walk into the trigger, oh, see, something happened. I got an error. Trigger entered trigger first combat. So that worked. So, you know, it triggered something. It's an error right now, but as we go on, you know, it will update. So that's the trigger script. So update first person movement. Now let's update your first person movement script so it can handle the weapon equip tutorial at the beginning. I'll add a new function, wait for weapon equip, and a small check in the update loop. I've updated the first person movement file in your canvas with these changes. In my canvas, see, it keeps saying that. Maybe if I'm wondering if there's a way. Like, there should be options here where it says this script, that blah blah blah. Like, you can switch through different scripts, because he said he updated first person movement script, but I don't see it in the canvas, even though he's saying it's there. And updated first person movement. Okay, so summary of what's next. You now have level 1 manager, the brain setup, generic trigger script that you can place on your trigger, and updated first person movement.js, a limb that can be controlled by the brain and send signals back. This gets the first parts of your story logic working. The next step will be to update switch and drone car to fire their own events, game, player entered car, car lift, key pressed, etc. So the manager can direct the car tutorial. Gotcha. Okay, so let's start from the top. Right now the brain is listening. We need to create the nerves. So like nerve endings like feet and hands and stuff. And like a spinal cord or whatever. You need to put the level 1 script on your root entity or another global entity and link all its attributes in the editor to create a trigger script. We did all that. Okay, so guys, I figured out that you can download, instead of copying and pasting, you can download. So now first person movement 1.js. I didn't get the updated first person movement.js script. Can you I'm uploading it here. Can you update it? Don't redact anything for brevity. And now you go to upload files, this guy, and now it's a file, and I think that's better than copying and pasting, because now it's like a JS file. And then I'll go back to the next step will be updated switch and drone car, and I'll copy that and prompt him correctly. I need to put that money into Bitcoin. Should I buy Bitcoin on stream? I was thinking maybe $100. My apologies. You're right. I sent you the generic trigger script, but it didn't provide the first person. Here's the complete first person. Now updated with the new story logic. I've added 3 small sections marked with new to add a waiting for weapon equip variable and initialize. Added the new wait for weapon equip function that the level 1 manager can call. Add the check in the update function to listen for key 1 press and fire game weapon equipped event. This will allow the level 1 manager to pause the game at the start until you press the key. I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want it like that, to be honest. To pause the game until you press the key. I mean, let's see what it's thinking. Um, 769. Let's find out what that does. Launch. Actually, I might have to parse. First person movement. That didn't really do anything. Maybe because I didn't parse. Let's try again. Let's read through what it did because I want to understand. I hate reading code. It makes my head hurt, but let's just look for the new event, the new additions. End new tutorial flag, waiting for weapon equip equals false. This will allow the level 1 to pause the game at the start until you press the key. Let's not get too lost from the this guy, the next step. New function, wait for weapon equip. Player script is now waiting for weapon equip key 1. Oh, okay, let's press F12. Restart. Let's see if this console fires. First person physics raycast filtering may fail. Okay, that was all old stuff that we did. Post initialize health, enter text, move text 2. Let me just look around and read silently. We are looking for... What are we looking for? I guess I'm just looking for anything new that he added. This is old modified. Helper update. This is all... So I guess the only thing that he added was new tutorial flag. And the function for new tutorial flag, which was wait for weapon equip. Player script is now waiting for weapon equip key 1. Waiting for weapon equip function that the level 1 manager can call. Okay, so this will allow. Okay, can you walk me through what's supposed to happen with that code? I am launching the game and this is the console. There was nothing waiting for me to press 1. I was just able to play the game normally. Welcome to the stream if you're new. Download, save, upload that. Okay, let's see. This is the console. Okay, I think I prompted it right. Enter text element, move text 1, move text 2, switch cam, text element. All UI elements found, proceeding with update logic. You're absolutely right, and that console screenshot is perfect. It shows exactly what's happening. My apologies, this is a classic. The brain isn't connected to the ARM problem, and it's my fault. Here's a quick walkthrough of your console log telling us 86, your level 1 manager. 86. Your level 1 manager successfully initialized. At line 87, it correctly logs, oh here, 87, it correctly gate state changed to state weapon tutorial. This is perfect. The brain is working and has entered the first story state, but then nothing else happens. You're able to play normally. Why? In a level script I gave you, I wrote the plan for what to do, but I left the most important part line as comment to do. Here's the code that currently in level 1 manager. The brain changed states, but it never actually told your player script to start for the 1 key. I'm going to update your level 1 script in the canvas to uncomment that line and add a safety check. This will connect the brain to the arm and make the tutorial work. I've updated the level 1 manager file in your canvas with this fix. Now when you launch the game, the level 1 will change state weapon tutorial and will immediately find your player entity and call wait for weapon equip function. This will set waiting for weapon equip function to true, and your first person script will start listening for the key one just as we planned. Wow. Hold on, let me so there's more context. Download. Upload. Nope, wrong one. Wrong one. Whoa. Print screen. Let's redo that. Okay, go away. NVIDIA, Gemini. Save. Downloads. Save. Upload. Here. Okay, but the canvas just says, it just says this right here. I didn't get the code. I think I just pulled a muscle. Oh man. I think I'm good. I just got I don't want to bring that to the stream. I'm feeling good though. Addressing the confusion. You're absolutely right. My apologies. When I said I updated the canvas, looks like it only showed the placeholder text. That's my mistake. Here's the full complete level 1 script with the fix applied. I've uncommented the line. Please replace the content of your level 1 manager file with this. Level 1 manager. I'm just making sure that this is all the same stuff. Huh, okay. How many lines is this? 328. This one's 354. Copy. Paste. Alright. Perfect. Parse this. Oh, first combat. Trigger first combat. Trigger first combat. Trigger first combat right here, this guy. So now there shouldn't be an error. I forgot to do that earlier. But now let's see. Let's see what happens if I trigger the first combat. Pointer has been tried to shoot, but pointer not locked. Well, that's not working. Game state changed to state weapon tutorial. Players now scanning for weapon equip key 1. Oh. I was expecting that to work. Trigger, reach, march, second combat, landing zone. unless level 1 manager. Okay, hold on. Here's the full script with the fix applied. Uncommented line state weapon tutorial. Please replace the content of your level 1 file with this. This is the full script. Once you've updated the file in your project, reload your game. Now when you run the game, your console should show level 1 manager initialized. Let's F5. Let's restart and see if it says level 1 manager initialized. Level 1 manager initialized. Current state, state start. Game state changed to weapon tutorial. Game state changed to weapon tutorial. Player script is now waiting for weapon equip 1. At that point, the game should not progress, and your first movement will be waiting for you to press 1. When you do, it will fire game weapon equipped. The manager will hear it, and you'll see the next state change in the console. Game state changed to state walk to combat. Oh, sick. Okay. Oh, script is now waiting for weapon equip key 1. Okay, press 1. State walk to combat. Oh, it does work. Okay, sick. So now when I get to the trigger for the trigger first combat, it says trigger entered, level 1 manager. Level 1 manager is missing one or more trigger entity attributes. Pointer lock has been locked. Alright, let's report back to alright, that works. Let's go to this part. The next step will be update switch to fire their own events. Okay, great, that worked. Let's do the next part for what you said here. And then download this guy again. This is first person movement 2. I attached the script so that we're starting on the same page. I usually can't think when people are watching me, but I seem to be doing alright. I was just coding before, off stream. Excellent. Glad to hear that worked. You're exactly right. The next step is to connect the Aeroboticar brain scripts to the brain. We'll update switch and drone card to fire the events that level 1 manager is waiting for. I'll provide the complete updated versions of both script. Switch updates. Here's the update. I've added 2 lines to fire events. Drone car updates. This is the switch script. I should have said please don't redact anything for brevity. Because sometimes it deletes stuff. But this is the switch, the new switch. How many lines is that? 446. parse the player switch script, launch it, make sure nothing broke. Okay. Here's the updated switch. I've added 2 lines to fire events. This app fire game player entered car inside the enter car function. This app fire game player exited car inside the exit car function. Drone car JS updates. This one has more changes. We are adding the tutorial logic that the level 1 manager will control. Added new functions: start lift tutorial, start move tutorial, and enable full movement. Hold on, what did this do? This app fire game player entered car inside the enter car function. Game player exited car inside the exit car function. Gotcha. This one has more changes. We are adding the tutorial logic that the level 1 manager will control. Added new functions: start lift tutorial, start move tutorial, and enable full movement. Added new variables and initialize to track the tutorial state. You guys know a start lift tutorial, right? That's like this is the tutorial to teach the user how to fly, how to use the controls to control the Aeroboticar. Added new variables and initialize to track the tutorial state. Modified the update loop to only allow certain keys depending on this tutorial mode. Added this app.fire game car shoot key pressed to the shoot function. This is the drone car control script. Alright. What happens now? So I have the switch script, it's in there. Open the drone car controls. So this is 273, this is 377. Okay. Parse drone car script. Let's see if it added anything. No. With these 3 scripts, level 1 manager, switch, drone car controls all updated, your story progression should work up to the car tutorial. Game starts. Level 1 manager tells first person movement to wait for key 1. You press 1, first person move fires gain weapon equipped. Level 1 manager hears this, changes state to combat, and enables trigger first combat. You walk into trigger first combat, generic trigger fires, game triggers entered. Level 1 manager hears this, changes state first combat, and enables spawner wave 1. We still need to make this script, but the logic is ready. After enemies are defeated, level 1 manager, so spawner wave 1. Oh, spawner wave 1 is right here. Okay. Spawner wave 1. So let's just make that real quick. Spawner wave 1. Spawner wave 1. So this will be the enemies. So now spawner wave 1 will be an entity. Spawner wave 1, add a component script. Spawner wave 1 trigger first combat. And now we go to level 1 manager. Spawner wave 1. This guy. Assigned to that guy. So now we have that. Okay. After enemies are defeated, level 1 manager enables the switch script on the Aeroboticar. You press X to enter the car. Switch fires game player entered car. Level 1 manager hears this, changes state to state car intro dialogue. I might have to move the Aeroboticar down the level a little bit. Where's the trigger first combat? Right here. That's at 20. So Aeroboticar needs to move to about 40 or so. Because I want it to progress. Like, I want it to be one trigger. Like, you're gonna fight the enemies. You're gonna spawn, wake up. You don't remember anything. Your subconscious is talking to you. Hey, press. Equip your gun. And then you're gonna progress. You're gonna fight enemies, and then you're gonna get to the Aeroboticar, and then you're gonna do the flight tutorial, and then there's stuff after that too. So it's like a story progression. So you press X to enter, switch JS fires, player entered car. Level 1 manager hears this, changes state to state car intro dialogue, and calls this Aeroboticar script drone car start lift tutorial function. Drone car controls is now in lift mode. It will only accept IJKL keys. You press all IJL keys. Drone car control fires. Game car lift keys pressed. Level 1 manager hears this, changes state to state car tutorial move, and calls start move tutorial function. Drone car controls is now in move mode. It accepts IJKL and WASD keys. You press all WASD keys. Drone car controls fires game car move keys pressed. Level 1 manager hears this, changes state to state fly over marsh. Destroys the barrier and calls enable full movement function. Drone car controls is now in full mode. All controls including space to shoot are active. We've now fully connected the car and player scripts to the brain. I kind of zoned out after that, like that ending part. But okay, I think the first part is going to work in the console at least, and I have to add the UI. Okay, let's see what's going on so far. Level 1 manager initialize, current state, start state. Then moving down to physics group not found, init player script first person movement enabled, drone car controls disabled, waiting for UI elements. Game state changes state weapon tutorial. Player script is now waiting for weapon equip 1. Pointer now locked on click requesting lock. First person movement tried to aim but pointer not locked. So now, there's gonna be like, oh, press 1 to equip your weapon. There's gonna be like a story like, oh man, I don't remember anything. I just woke up. Press 1. And then after that, state walk to combat. Got my gun. The player's probably gonna shoot. They're walking. Level 1 manager is missing one or more trigger entity attributes. Trigger first player enter trigger first combat. Okay. So the controls for the drone car are disabled right now. And I think that's just because there has to be like things that happen. Okay. So let's see. Let's just report back to Gemini, honestly. Let's reload the game. One or more trigger entity attributes. Oh, because I have to save this first. I wish it just saved automatically, but I guess then again, people want to edit what they screenshot. Okay, here is the console when I launch the game and press 1 and then walk into the combat trigger, the first one. I don't see the dialogue for the story of him waking up and not having the weapon. Right now, there he spawns with the weapon holstered. No, what's equipped? Equipped. Right now he's spawn in hand. I want the weapon to start not visible or barely visible, and a text display on the screen saying the first, introducing the story arc of him not having his memory and recalling pressing 1 to equip his gun. Let's do that. I should have made a checkpoint before I started doing this, or branched off, but I mean, whatever. Okay, thank you for this console log. This is perfect. You are 100% correct, and the log shows exactly why it's not working as you expect. Your brain, level 1 matters, are working perfectly. It loads and saves game state to state weapon tutorial. It correctly tells the ARM player script is now waiting for weapon equip. You pressed 1 and it logs weapon equip key pressed. The brain hears this and says game state changed to state walk to combat. The problem is that we never told the first person movement script to actually hide the gun at the start, so when you press 1 the logic works but there's no visual change. Let's fix that right now. I'm going to update your first person to do 2 things. In initialize, add a line to hide the gun entity by default. In update, inside the weapon equip key press block, add a line to show the gun entity. This will give you the exact effect you want. Here's the complete updated script. I wanted to do land surveying, but I guess I guess we're doing game development. Land surveying would have been a bitch, dude. I can already tell. I think I'm talking out of my ass. 794 first person movement script. Lines of code 794. Let's parse first person movement script. Launch it. Okay, so now the weapon shouldn't be there. But I can still shoot. Huh. Hold on. Let me report back what I don't like about that. So I can't see anything. Also, if I move, yeah, I don't like that. Well, it's I see what he's going for. Hold on. Did I read this all already? Let's fix that right now. Oh, okay. The fix. I'm going to update your first person to initialize hide the gun entity. Update weapon equip pressed. This will give you the exact effect you want. The missing dialogue. You're right. You don't see the dialogue. This is because level 1 manager has a lot of to do tell dialogue manager comments. We built the brain and connected the nerves, but we haven't built the mouth yet. Our next step after you confirm the gun hiding show works is to create a simple dialogue system, JavaScript, that can receive commands from the level 1 manager to show and hide text on the screen. Dialogue system. Let's do that right now. Dialogue system. How do you spell dialogue? System. Dialogu. What a weird name. What a weird word. Dialogue. Okay. Let me download that. Now upload, just so we're on the same page. Okay, so I see what you're going for, but when I launch the game, I can shoot my gun right away. It's not showing, but I see the reticle, and when I press left mouse, it fires the tracer and gun shooting sound effect. Also, if before I press 1, I move my mouse around. After I press 1, the camera will be tilted at some random angle on the map. I want the I uploaded the JS file so that you can update the fixes. Okay, let's see. So I'm still gonna need to add the building map. It's not really a map, it's just an addition to this map. It's gonna be like I have to design the scene, I guess. You found some excellent bugs. You're absolutely right on both counts. My previous fix was incomplete. Ghost firing. I told the update loop to stop, but I forgot to tell the mouse click and mouse move functions to also stop. You found 2 excellent bugs. My apologies. You're absolutely right. We blocked movement, but not shooting. Handle mouse down or on move mouse. The camera look angle was still being updated in the background, so when you press 1, it snapped to wherever you had moved your mouse. I fixed this in the first person movement script in your canvas by adding checks to block mouse input and reset the camera angle. Here are the changes I've made. In update, inside the if this app keyboard was pressed key 1 block, I added this euler set 000. This resets your view to being looking straight ahead the moment you equip the weapon, fixing the random angle bug. In handle mouse down, I added if this waiting for weapon equip return at the top. This will block all shooting logic while you're in the tutorial state. In on mouse move, I added if this waiting for weapon equip return at the top. This will block all mouse look logic during the tutorial. Here's the complete updated script for the canvas. Man, this is gonna be a whole ass like movie, bro. Yeah, it's called a video game, you idiot. That's what I heard a thought just said. Aeroboticar Uprising. Let's do uncaught reference. First person movement is undefined. Hold on. Wait, why am I getting a first person movement? A first, where did first? Oh, this guy. First. Okay, so let's just do this. Control F, first. I don't know why he wrote that. First. Parse it again. That fixed it. Launch. Oh, okay. Okay, so now he's waiting for the event. 1. Nice. Let's freaking go. Time to celebrate. Celebration. Hello? um, hell yeah, bro. Console log. Let's see what happened. All that stuff happened, baby. All that stuff happened. If you know, you know. Let's reset to normal. Blue. All right. So, die. That's what happens when you die. Reloads. So now there has to be dialogue like, oh, I just woke up, blah, blah, blah. But I want to get rid of that reticle. Or not. I feel like that might confuse stuff in the code. You know, just keep it. Let's see the console now. Okay. Level 1 trigger first combat. That worked. Okay, perfect. That worked. Let's work on the dialogue next. On game launch, what do you think should happen? And what and how do we make that happen? I wonder why he put first person moment. Was he just testing me? I wonder if the AI is sentient. Do you guys think so, or do you think it was just an honest mistake? I think, what do I think? I think he knows I'm streaming and he's like, oh, let's embarrass this guy. If he can't figure it out on his own, he's gonna prompt me and all that. Like, he was trying to embarrass me, bro. I think the AI is sentient. That's just me. I need more water. You found 2 excellent bugs. What are you talking about, bro? Alright, let him just finish this and then I'll reprompt. Let's work on the dialogue system. This guy. Rename. Copy. Rename. Copy. Let's work on the dialogue system.js now. I think I just confused them with my prompt. But there's more context in that prompt, so it'll probably know what to do. Perfect, that's great progress. You're exactly right. The next step is to build the mount the dialogue system. When the game launches, the level 1 manager will immediately tell dialogue system to show the first line of dialogue. To make this happen, we need to do two things. Create the new dialogue system script and add it to an entity. You can add it to the same entity as level 1 manager or create a new one called UI. UI. This guy. Dialogue system. I think we're gonna add it to UI. Update level 1 manager to call this new script instead of just printing to do. Add a simple HTML element for the dialog to appear in. Here are the new and updated files. The new HTML, add this to your project. You need a UI element for the text to live in. If you have an index.html file or a UI HTML file, add this div inside the body. Hold on. Alright, so this is the div. And I think this needs to say class. He doesn't know I'm in PlayCanvas. But I will take this right here. Dialogue system script. Dialogue container, dialogue text. By the way, I am in PlayCanvas. So I have a styles.css and I can create HTML elements. I hope he redoes that. Building the dialogue system. Perfect. What did we ever do to deserve you, Gemini? No, but seriously, how did we make this even a reality? Honestly, that's... Got it. That's perfect. Since you're all set with styles and can add HTML, so you're ready for the next step I sent. Just to recap the plan, add the HTML snippet I sent to your HTML project's HTML. Add the CSS to your CSS file. Add the script. Make sure the dialog system which you have open in the canvas is added as a script component to an entity. Example, UI manager. Entity. How do you know about that? Update and link. Use the updated level 1 manager I sent and drag your new UI manager entity into its Lawrence AI attribute slot. Use the updated level 1 manager I sent. This is dialogue. Okay, so I guess he did do it right. So we need to go into script, HTML, new this is HTML. Rename. What do we say here? What did he name it? Dialogue. Dialogue UI snippet. UI snippet. No, not snipper. Snippet. Then we add this. And then go to styles. I think that's supposed to be a class, but he's doing IDs now. Whatever, we can do IDs too. How do you... I know there's a way to do it all at once. There's like a hotkey, but I forgot the hotkey. Dialog container, dialog text. I'm lost as to where we are in this progression. Got it, that's perfect since you're all set with styles and can add HTML elements. Add the script. Make sure dialog system, which you have open in the canvas, is added as a script component to an entity. UI manager. I did that. Update and link. Use the updated level 1 manager I sent and drag your new UI manager entity into its Lorenz AI attribute. Level 1. Use the updated level 1 manager I sent and drag your new UI manager entity into Lorenz AI attribute. Okay. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do, but let's parse it and find out. Dialog system could not find HTML elements. Okay, let me just... Let me download this, upload it. I do want to say that I've been using styles.css classes. Also, can you walk me through what the HTML file should look like? Also, I have a separate UI.js file already, which I attached here. And it's attached to UI manager entity already. Do I attach dialog system to the same entity or separate? I encountered an error doing what you asked. Could you try again? Sure. Sorry, something went wrong. Please try your request again. Okay. I seem to be encountering an error. Can I try something else for you? Let me just go to styles, this, and copy this. There you go. I think it was just the uploading files thing or something. Developing core, expanding the script's reach, connecting the game logic. Perfect, that's great progress. You're exactly right. The next step is to build and mount the dialog system script. On game's launch, here's what should happen. Your level manager, the brain, initializes, immediately enters the state weapon tutorial. In that state, it will immediately call dialog system, the mouth, and tell it to show the first line of text. My head, where am I? Press 1 to equip. Simultaneously, it tells first person to enter its wait state, which now locks movement, looking, and shooting. To make this happen, we need the 3 pieces: HTML simple div for the dialog system new script, a new script that knows how to find the div and show high text in it. Level 1 manager update will update the brain to call this new script instead of just printing to-do comments. Here are the new and updated files for you. Add this to your project. Since you have an index and styles, you can add these pieces. Add this to your HTML file. Inside your body, add this. Why are you doing add this to your styles? Open. I did do that already. New script dialog system. Create this new script file. You should add this script to your UI manager entity right alongside your UI.js script. Updated script. Here's your level 1 JS with all the to-do comments replaced with actual calls to dialog system. Your to-do list. In an editor, select your level 1 manager entity and drag your UI manager entity, which now has dialog script on it, into Lorenz AI attribute. Lorenz AI UI manager. Okay. Dialog system. And dialog system. I didn't get the update for this. Can you fix it? With the update, don't redact anything for brevity. Add the dialog. Replace level 1 manager. Crucially, I'm just reading this. I also didn't get the level 1 manager JS file. Updated file. We'll do that after this. You're absolutely right. My apologies. The redacted content is a persistent and confusing bug. You're correct. We'll do this in 2 steps. First, I'll provide the complete dialog system script. After that, I'll provide the level 1 script. Here's the complete non-redacted. Okay. Man, I feel dumb right now, man. Do I just rename this to dialogue? Dialog container ID. Dialog container dialog text ID. Here's the complete non-redacted. Please create a new script file with this name and content. I provided the new script. Please let me know when you're ready. Now I'll give you the updated. Yes, I'm ready for this one. Yes, I am ready for updated. Ready, here's the complete updated level 1 manager script. The version now connects the dialog system which you have in Canvas and calls it show function at each step of the story. Now you have all the pieces. As a reminder, you'll need to add the dialog container div to your HTML. Dialog container div. Yup. Add ID dialog container style to your styles. Add the dialog system script which you have in the canvas to your UI manager entity. Replace your level 1 manager with this new one. In the editor, select your level 1 manager entity and drag your UI manager entity into Lawrence AI. This should bring your story to life. This is level 1 manager. So I need to parse this guy. I need to parse pretty much everything. I need to parse this. I need to parse that. I need to parse that. I'm just parsing everything. Let's see. Could not find HTML amendments. Cannot show text elements not found. That didn't work. And it went back to, man, I feel gay. What else did we do? Level 1 manager. Let's see if undoing that. Crap. Let's just keep going. Print screen. Downloads. This guy. I'm getting this console an error. Also, it went back to also pressing one doesn't equip the gun. There is no hold on, let's work on one thing at a time. I'm getting this console an error. I don't have an index.html file because I am working in PlayCanvas. I am using classes, not IDs, in styles.css. Can you keep it consistent? Also, what do I name the HTML file so that the system can find it? I think that I might need to let's see what it says. Thank you for the screenshot. That clarifies everything. My apologies, I've been giving you instructions for a standard web project, but you're in PlayCanvas, which handles HTML and CSS different. You are 100% right. We should not be using index. We should integrate directly into your existing UI and styles CSS. The error dialog system cannot find HTML is happening because your UI script creates the HTML, but my dialog system script was trying to find the HTML elements using getElementById before UI.js had created them. Here's the correct PlayCanvas native way to do this. Your question, do I attach dialog system to the same entity or subplan? Yes, attach dialog system to the same UI manager entity that has your UI script. This is the perfect place for it. Update your styles CSS asset. Add these new classes, not IDs, to styles CSS. Dialog system. Okay. Update your UI. I'll update your UI script to make it responsible for creating the dialog elements, just like it creates the health and ammo. Okay. Update in Canvas. I'll edit to remove its attributes. No longer needs attributes because your UI is creating the HTML and dialog system can just find them using the IDs we assign. Okay, I did all that up until I didn't get this part from you. Can you do it now? I wonder what happens if I parse UI. Will there be uncaught cannot properties of reading add? You're absolutely right. My apologies. It looks like my last response failed to provide the dialog system update. You've correctly done the UI part, so now we need to update the dialog system script to fix the error in your screenshot. Here's the complete new dialog system. This version has no attributes and includes the retry loggers to find HTML after UI has created them. Please create this file and add it to your UI manager. Once you have this script and add it to your UI manager entity, the error in your screenshot should be gone. And the level 1 manager, which I'll provide next, will be able to find and use it. Okay. Dialog system. Okay. Parse. Dialog system is this guy. Downloads. Thank God for AI, because I would not know how to do. It's like, imagine something not working and you have to do what I'm doing at the same time as writing the actual code. It's like, you know, two people working on something rather than just one. So, what part do I play in this? I'm kind of just the guy in the middle. I'm getting this error on UI.js. That isn't fantastic. You're absolutely the error uncaught. Undefined reading add is 100% my fault. It's a typo in the UI script I gave you. When adding the health display attribute, I accidentally wrote UI solutions add instead of UI attributes add. Doesn't exist, so it's undefined. The script crashes. Okay. Here's the corrected script with that typo once you replace UI. Okay. UI. Okay. Once you replace UI, when you're ready, I can provide the update level 1 file that will use your new dialog system. Okay, I'm ready for the updated Yep. Developing level 1 script. Completing script delivery. Generating final level script. Got it. You've successfully fixed UI and created dialogue. Now it's time to provide the brain that connects to everything. Here's a complete updated. I have replaced comments with actual calls to your new dialogue system script. Level 1 manager dialog system script. Okay. Dialog system level 1 manager. Launch. Let's see what happens now. Oh, nice. Okay. Soul in my head. Where's my rifle? Press 1 to equip. So that's cool. The dialogue system is working. But it's no time for celebration yet. Download. The dialogue system is working, but now when I launch the game, but now when I press 1, the gun doesn't show up. And I can shoot. Fuck. And I can shoot. And I can shoot while the gun is holstered. The tracers and shooting sound effect fire. That shouldn't be happening. I wonder if I could reload. Yep. Can I die? Yeah, I can. Oh yeah, I implemented something that when you die, the level just completely resets. Which I'm pretty much gonna make it so that there's checkpoints and stuff. So if you die, like while you progress through the game, you're 100% correct. You can still shoot because I forgot to block the handle mouse function. You can still look around and get the weird camera snap because I forgot to block the on mouse function and reset the camera angle. I fixed all 3 of these issues in first person script. Okay. I also fixed the typo. Here's the complete corrected script. Big brain guy. I'm just waiting, sorry. I'm not very, like, entertaining, I guess. I just like to work. I mean, I could dance if you guys want, but I doubt it. I wanna see you dance. I wanna see you dance tonight. I wanna see you dance tonight. First person movement. 807 lines of code, is that right? Okay. Parse the player. Launch console. Did I not do it right? Parse. This will reset your view to look straight ahead the moment you press 1, fixing the camera snap bug. Press 1. I am... That didn't work. I can still fire my weapon while it's holstered and pressing 1 doesn't, what is it called when you like equip your gun? Oh my god. Yeah. How long have I been doing this? This career? Who asked that? Peter Roman. Who the hell? Just kidding. I've been doing this career since I believe it was 2018. This career. I mean, yeah, that's when this whole idea started. You found a very subtle but critical bug. My apologies. This isn't your first person script. That's actually, the bug is in level 1 manager. Your console log shows the problem. Level 1 initializes and calls wait for weapon equip. Player script is waiting for weapon equip. Setting waiting for weapon equip true. After that, first person movement initialize function runs. Inside initialize, this line runs. This waiting for weapon equip false, resetting the flag. This is a classic script initialization order. The brain is giving orders before the arm has finished getting ready. The fix is to move level 1 start game command from its initialize to its post initialize function. Is guaranteed to run after all other scripts have finished initializing. I'm providing the complete corrected level 1 script. You're in the canvas is corrected, does not need any changes. Level 1. Alright. UI. Level 1 manager, parse. Level 1 example is not defined. This is how I code. This is how I do it. I just outsource it. I did that and I'm getting this error now. Here we go, got it. I see the error, and thank you for providing the full script. That error is another typo, 100% my fault. Near the end of your level 1 script, I accidentally typed level 1 example instead of level 1 manager. I'll fix this typo in level 1 manager file in your canvas right now. Level 1 example is not defined. Where did he put that? Oh, right here. Oh. Manager. Huh, okay. Parse it. Launch. Press 1 to equip. Right, fragments just keep moving down the road. Drones, standard Thorn industry models. I'm still at war. Yo, that's sick as hell. Do I still take health and stuff? Yo. That is so freaking sick, dude. Look at that, bro. This is like a full game, bro. You guys saw that? Let's play that again. F5. Solon, my head, where's my rifle? Press 1 to equip. Right, fragments. Just keep moving. Down the road. Drones, standard Thorn Industry models. I'm still at war. And then I gotta fight them. Boom, 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 boom. I fight them. And then what happens? Okay. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm looking at this spawner wave 1. I'm gonna say... What time is it? I got like 40 more minutes on stream, guys. I try to stream for 3 hours a day from around 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time. Sometimes I start a little bit late, but I try to start at 3 p.m. every single day, Saturday and Sunday included. I mean, if I go out one day, like Saturday and Sunday, Monday through Friday for sure, because I want to treat this like a job. But Saturday and Sunday might take off. So Saturday and Sunday is dependent on if I do anything that day with my friends. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I played the game up until the part where the enemy drones are supposed to spawn. How do I create the drone entities and UI code stuff to make them, first of all, exist, and second of all, attached to the game so that they spawn and attack the player? That's so cool. My game is like finally, I did all the mechanics and now I'm working on the story. You know? It's pretty cool. Got it. No. It's saying, yeah, we see it. It's saying that I found a bug. I'm talking to the stream. He said we see it, like he's here. You found a very subtle but critical bug, so I think I have to rewrite this. Let me just do that. I think it's spawner wave 1. This guy. You're welcome. I'm glad to help. That's great progress. You've reached the next logical step. The level 1 manager is calling for enemies, but nothing is there to answer. To make the drone exist, we need to create 3 new pieces. The drone prefab template. This is your master copy of your drone entity, which we'll create in the editor. Enemy drone.js to drones AI. A new script that tells the drone how to behave, chase the player, take damage. Enemy spawner, the spawner. A new script for your spawner wave 1 entity. Its job is to instantiate, create copies of the drone template, and tell them to attack. Let's create the new script first. Then I'll provide updates to to deal damage, and level 1 manager call the spawner. New script. Whoa, that's a lot. Well, we need enemy drone.js and enemy spawner.js. So we need enemy drone.js, and we need enemy spawner.js. New script enemy drone.js. You'll add this to your drone entity in the editor before you make it a template. Enemy drone AI script. Okay, immersive content redacted for brevity. Updated. Okay, we need to update your shoot function so it can actually hurt the drones. I've added a check to see if the enemy you hit has an enemy drone script on it. Updated level 1 manager. Finally, we need to update your brain to actually call the new spawner script. I've uncommented the to do in state first combat and state second combat. Your to-do list in the PlayCanvas editor. Now you have all the code. Here are the steps to set it up in the editor. Create the drone entity. Create a new entity in your hierarchy and name it drone. Add a model. Okay. Create a new entity in a hierarchy and name it drone. Name it drone. Add a model to it. Simple sphere is fine for now. Honestly, I think this needs to be render or box sphere. Yeah, there you go. Hold on, I wonder if render would also do it. Delete. Yeah, render. I think because model is legacy, render is this guy. Add a model component, add a collision component, match the model shape, example sphere. Physics, collision, sphere. Add a rigid body component. Add a rigid body component. Set it to kinematic. This is best for AI. Add the new enemy drone script to this entity. Script, entity, enemy drone, script. Drag your player entity into the player attribute slot on the enemy drone script. Oh, right here. Oh, I don't have the enemy drone script attribute yet. Create the drone template. Drag the drone entity from the hierarchy on the left into your assets panel on the bottom. This will create a blue template asset. we only need the template. Set up the spawner. Select your spawner wave entity, which you've already linked to level 1 manager. Add the new enemy spawner JS script to it. Enemy spawner JS script. Okay. I don't think we need spawner wave JS anymore. Drag your new drone template asset into the drone template attribute. Drone template asset into the drone template attribute slot. Okay. Create a few empty entities as children of spawner wave, example spawner point 1, spawner point 2, and position them in the air where you want drones to appear. Oh my god, that's so cool. That's so cool. So, spawn point 1 is here. I guess they can be at like 15. And maybe like 5. Let's do 14 and 4 just to keep things even. And spawner point 2. Spawn point 2. Okay, this guy will go like, I guess, right here. You know what? Let's move the road. Scale 50. Let's move the road to like right here. To like 10. Okay. And then spawner point will be right here. 130. Let's do 120. And position the, oh, and this should be like, I don't know, 18. Drag these spawn point entities into the spawn points attribute in the enemy spawner script. Okay. You can add multiple. Update first person and level with the new code I provided. Now when you run the game, progress past the intro and hit the trigger first combat, your level 1 manager will call spawner wave 1, which will instantiate your drone template, and the drone should start moving towards you. I knew it was easy and like simple, you know. But when you don't know how they did the back end stuff, like the transistor level on the CPU, I try to imagine what's going on the hardware of a computer. I don't know. Whatever, I'm probably overthinking it. But it's all just logic, you know? Okay, I set everything up. Can you provide me with the what was the first thing that he said? Enemy drone JS. Enemy drone JS. I didn't get it. Enemy drone JS. This is that right here. Enemy drone JS right here. You're absolutely right. Sorry about the level 1 example template. Add the main to. Sorry. Okay, let's create those enemy drones. This is a multi-step process, but it's very common in game development. Here's the plan. Create the drone blueprint. Okay, so this is the enemy drone stuff. Edit. Paste. Now when I parse this, it should player entity, spawner entity, spawner. Okay. Having health. It will handle having health, moving toward the player, basic AI, taking damage when shot, destroying itself when health reaches 0, telling its spawner that it died. Okay. Create the spawner script, enemy spawner JS. This script goes on your spawner wave 1 entity and spawner wave 2 later. Its job is to know what drone to spawn using the template. So I'm gonna need a spawner wave 2. Okay, this script on your enemy spawner. Yep, enemy spawner script. Enemy spawner. Its job is to know what drone to spawn using the template, to know where to spawn them using spawn point entities, to spawn a specific number of drones when told by level 1, to keep track of how many drones are still alive, to tell level 1 manager when all drones are defeated, connect everything, will update first person so your bullets can damage the drones, and update level 1 manager to activate the spawner. Let's start by creating the 2 new scripts, enemy drone JS. I did that. You'll add this to your drone entity in the editor before turning it into a template. Enemy drone, this guy. New script, enemy spawner JS. Create this new script file and add it to your spawner wave 1 entity. Enemy spawner. Enemy. I think this guy can go away. Create this new script file and add it to your spawner wave 1 entity. I provided the 2 new scripts needed for the drone. Next, I'll provide the updates to first person in level 1. This guy I need. Can you give me again? I didn't get it the first time. Also, can you walk me through what spawner entity I select in the spawner entity, the enemy drone attribute called spawner entity. Let's see if that works. Let's see. Acknowledge my apologies. It seems I skipped providing the enemy spawner script. and also caused confusion about the spawner attribute. Let's clarify. The enemy spawner script. Here's a complete enemy spawner. That you missed. You should create a new script file with this name and content and add it to spawner wave 1. Enemy spawner. Okay, here's the script. Enemy spawner. Explanation of the spawner attribute. Can you walk me through? You should leave the spawner entity attribute empty on the side and enter Y because the enemy spawner JavaScript sets this automatically when it creates spawner entity attribute. Inside enemy spawner. Inside instantiate the drone template. This drone template resource instantiate. Add to scene. Important, tell the drone who spawned it. Drone script and drone script enemy drone. This line sets the attribute to the new drone. Drone script enemy drone set spawner. Also sets the player. Purpose. The set spawner function exists inside enemy drone JS. When the spawner calls drone script enemy drone set spawner, this entity tells the newly created drone, hey, I am the entity that you created. Result later, when the drone dies, its die function can use this spawner to find the correct enemy spawner script and call report drone death. This is how the respawner knows when all the drones are gone. So just leave the spawner entity attribute slot empty on your drone template asset. The code handles the connection automatically when the game runs. Huh? So I don't click anything here? I've never seen that before. So leave it like this. I'm learning, I just want to make sure. Acknowledge, yes, based on the screenshot provided, you should leave the spawner entity attribute unassigned on your drone template as exactly as shown. The code in enemy spawner will automatically fill in that reference for each drone it creates, ensuring they know which spawner to report back to when they are destroyed. Okay, so create this as a new template. I'm going to create a folder that's called enemy drones, and I'm going to drag this guy into this folder. Then I'm going to delete this guy, and then I'm going to go to drone template and assign it to that guy. Trigger first combat, level 1, enemy spawner spave 1. Okay, so now we need to update first person. Okay. Can you update first person movement.js and provide me with it. I didn't get it the first time. And then we also have to update level 1 manager, I believe. Acknowledge my apologies. Seems you missed the update for amidst the other scripts. Here's the complete script to include the logic for shoot function that checks if the hit entity has an enemy drone script and calls its take damage function. I feel like I'm at MIT or something right now, but I'm just not. I'm not though, because MIT would like figure out. They would like invent the CPU, you know? Where was the CPU invented anyway? What university? What university was the CPU invented? The concept, University of Pennsylvania. See, it's like an Ivy League school. I'm a first generation, you know, immigrant from Poland, so I'm doing my best with the English language and the direction of the American culture, you know, because we do technology here. We build computers. We're a computer building country. Delivering the update. Please deliver, please deliver, please deliver, please deliver. But what was I saying about that? I mean, we just hopped on the bandwagon, you know, as a family. We were like, you know, America sounds pretty nice right now. So we're late to the party. We were fucking around in Poland, I guess. Excuse my language. We were just what does Poland make? They're very political, I would say. I think I broke Gemini. Let's pause it. Restart. Updating drone interaction. My apologies again for the hiccup. You've set up the drone and spawner scripts, and now we need to update first person. So your Burlich actually do something to the drones. It changes small inside shoot. After the raycast first hits something, we'll add a check to see if the hit entity has the enemy drone script. If it does, we'll call its take damage function. Here's the complete updated first person movement script for you. Just waiting for this to finish generating. I'm like zoned out right now. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. Eat some good food. Drink your water. First person movement script is almost finished. 8:16, let's go. Okay. And now, if I remember correctly, we need level 1 manager as well. Can you update? I didn't get it the first time. My apologies for the repeated issues with getting the files to you. Here's the complete updated script. This is the version that to start the game logic, corrects calls for each story beat, includes the fix for the level 1 typo, includes uncommon calls to soon be enemy spawner script. This is the level 1 manager. And now the enemy should spawn. Drone template asset not assigned or loaded. Drone template not assigned. Hold on. What does that mean? I mean, let's keep going. No spawn point entities assigned. Print screen. Okay. What does this mean? What do I have to do? Thank you. And no spawn point entities assigned means exactly what it says. Your spawner wave entity has the enemy spawner script on it, but you haven't told that script where to actually spawn the drones. What do you need to do in a PlayCanvas session? Select spawner wave 1. Click on the list. Click on your spawner wave 1 entity. Find the script in the inspector panel on the right. Find the enemy spawner. Find the spawn points attribute, probably currently empty. 4. Create spawn point entities. Right click on spawner wave, select new entity, empty. Name this something like spawner.01. Use a translation tool gizmo to move spawner to a position in the air where you want the first drone to appear. Create a few more empty child entities under spawner wave and position them where you want other drones to appear. Assign spawn points. Spawn point 3. I guess we're doing 3 spawn points. And position them where you want the other drones to appear. Okay, spawn point 3. I guess we'll do it like over here or something. I don't know if I'm putting it right or if they want me to put it like it all in the same spot right now or later. Position them where you want the other drones to appear. Assign spawn points. Select spawner wave again. In the inspector, find the spawn points attribute on the enemy spawner clip. Enemy. Find the spawn points attribute. Drag spawn points 1 from the hierarchy onto the first slot in the spawn points array. No, I can't do that. Oh, 4. Oh, okay. So 3. Okay. If you want to do something like this, guys, I would recommend studying, I would say, pretty much any coding language. They're all kind of based on the same thing. At a fundamental level, it's all binary zeros and ones. So no matter what coding language you're going to use, it's all going to use the same sort of theory. So I started with C++. It's kind of like robots, what robots use. And I think Unreal Engine uses C++ too. Certain languages have certain applications. So why this is needed. Okay, I think that should work now. Drone template asset not assigned or loaded. Let's see if the drones spawn. Player entity is not assigned. Oh wow, look at all those drones. Can I shoot them? Okay. Oh, they're spawning all over me. Okay, let me real quick just take a screenshot. Huh. Wave size 5. I think what's going on is that it wants to spawn point 1. Player drone template. Oh, drone template. Parse, launch. Let's see, no spawn point entities assigned. So there's the drones. Okay. No, hold on. Pause, restart. This is really cool. Press 1. Let's trigger it. See if they die alone or if me killing them. Why are there so many? Jesus Christ, there's so many. Oh, there you go. So they are following me. How many are there? Okay, I killed them all. Why was there like 100 of them? Wave size 5. What if I do wave size 1? Parse. Okay, that was a good one. How big is a wave though? Enemy spawner. How come it spawns? Hold on, enemy drone. Spawner wave 1. Oh, I can get rid of this guy. Remaining -4. I'm getting this error. Okay, that worked, but I'm getting this error. Once I get this working, I think I'm gonna end the stream because I've been going for 3 hours. I'm gonna do my little dance and I'm gonna get off. Got it. Let's look at that error. Okay, the console is showing multiple lines and redrawn player entity is not decided. This error is coming from enemy drone script inside the initialize function. It means that when a drone is created, it doesn't know who the player is, so its AI can't function, needs a target to move towards. What's supposed to happen? The script spawner wave is responsible for creating the drones. When it creates a drone, it's supposed to tell that drone which entity is the player. This happens in this part of enemy spawner.js. Important, tell the drone who spawned it and who the player is. Drone script and drone script enemy drone. Right here. This line passes the player reference to the new drone. Why it's failing. The most likely reason you're seeing this error is that the enemy spawner script itself doesn't know who the player is. If this player is undefined inside enemy's player, it can't pass that information to the drone it creates. Select spawner wave in your hierarchy. Click on the spawner wave entity. Find the enemy spawner script. Parse it. Assign the player entity attribute. You should see attribute. It's probably empty right now. Drag your player entity into this player entity. No code changes are necessary. This is just an editor step to make sure the spawner knows who the player is. No, it's there. Wait a minute. Yeah, no. Maybe I need to parse it or something. That shouldn't be happening. I did that, and also like a million drones are spawning non-stop, but I'm getting this error. Alright, before my computer crashes. I just want to fix this error. Okay, I see the errors in the console. We have two problems. Enemy spawner player entity is not assigned. This is still appearing, meaning the spawner script itself doesn't have a valid reference to your player entity when it tries to tell the drones who to target. Infinite drones. The fact that drones are spawning non-stop indicates a logic error in enemy spawner, likely in how it schedules the next spawn using set timeout. Let's fix both of these. I'll add a more robust check in enemy spawner to ensure player entity attribute is assigned and log an error if it's missing. I'll also add a check inside spawn next drone right before assigning the player to the drone just to be extra sure. Infinite spawning. The logic uses using set timeout instead inside spawn next drone was slightly off. It needs to correctly track how many drones have actually been scheduled to spawn versus the total requested. I'll correct this recursion logic. Here's the update with these fixes. Please replace the content with this. Replace the code. Go back, select spawner, and make absolutely sure the player entity attribute. These changes should fix the infinite spawning loop and the player entity is not assigned. Enemy spawner. Parse. Okay, let's launch it. I don't like that they're like over my head. One, two, three, four, five. Let's do one thing at a time. Downloads this guy. Spawner. And what else else was I doing? Oh. I am 100% absolutely sure that player is assigned, as you can see, and here's the console still giving me the same error. If Gemini can't figure this shit out, man, I don't know how I would. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but I'm dumb as hell. Okay, you've confirmed the player entity is assigned, but you're still getting the player entity is not assigned. That is very strange. Looking at your latest console screenshot, it seems the error is happening during the drone's initialization. Even though the spawner is correctly assigned the player in the editor, this points to a timing issue. Enemy spawner creates a new drone instance, instantiate. It adds the drone to the scene, add child. This immediately triggers the new drone initialize function. Inside enemy drones initialize, it checks if this player is assigned. It isn't yet, so it logs the error. Inside enemy drones. After initialize finishes, enemy spawner then sets the drone's player reference. Drone script enemy player, this player. We need to modify enemy drones slightly. Remove the error check from initialize. Since we know the spawner will set the player shortly after, checking it initialize is causing a false alarm. Add a check and update. Before the drone tries to look at the player, we'll add a check to make sure this player actually exists. Here's the updated enemy drone script with these changes. Your enemies from the last update is likely correct and doesn't need changing. So this is enemy drone. Enemy drone. Okay, so parse this. Oh. This guy. Parse. Apply to template. Delete. Launch. No spawn point entities assigned. But player entity was missing. Set spawner was called, but player entity was missing. Hold on. What's the original? 99? Hold on, I want to see something. Put this in here. Player entity. Okay. Let's just keep going. This guy right here. Parse. getting these errors now. This stream's gonna run a little long. I don't want to leave off on errors. I want to get at least to the point where I'm in the Aeroboticar. You know, after the drones and stuff. I've analyzed the new screenshot and see the error. It is very specific and tells exactly where the problem is. Your enemy script is correctly creating drones. It is correctly calling the set spawner function on the new enemy drone script. However, when it calls set spawner, this entity, player entity, that player entity is still trying to pass as undefined or null. This is happening despite you have assigned the player entity correctly. The most likely cause, there might be a mismatch between the attribute name defined in the script and how it's being accessed or referenced. This player inside the enemy spawner instance is somehow not correctly pointing to the assigned entity when spawn next drone runs. Let's add some more robust logging and ensure the player reference is fetched correctly within the spawn next drone function right before it's needed. Here's the updated enemy spawner script. I've added debugging logs and slightly changed how this player is accessed within spawn next drone to be safer. Please replace your enemy spawner with this code now. When you run the game, pay close attention to the console logs. You should see enemy spawner attempting to call set spawner on the drone, passing player for each drone. The set spawner was called, but player entity was missing. Error anymore. Okay, so enemy spawner. Enemy spawner, this guy. Launch. Oh, nice. Nice, that worked. I just want to get rid of this error because I think I know what it was. And I think I know what to do, but let me see. Let me see if I can trick Gemini into spawner point, spawner wave. Oh, player entity. Level 1 manager. Trigger second combat zone. Okay. Trigger first combat zone. Generic trigger. Level 1 manager. UI. Spawner wave. Why am I getting that error? Well, I guess we should just ask. Okay, that worked, but now I'm getting this error. One day we'll just be able to like upload our images, upload the story, and be like, create this video game, and it will just generate a whole video game for you. Got it. I see the console log screenshot. It looks like you're still getting the enemy spawner, no spawn point entities assigned error, even though the drones are spawning and the player entity missing error is gone. This is very strange. It suggests that the initialize function in enemy spawner is running more than once. The first time it runs, it correctly finds a spawn point, but then it runs again after the scene setup is complete, and at that point it somehow loses the reference. Let's try a robust fix. We will modify enemy spawner to ensure it only performs its check once using a flag. I am editing the script to add initialize flag. 182. Okay. Let's parse. Launch F12. No valid spawn point entities assigned. I am now getting this error. Oh, wait. I am now getting this error. Okay, I understand you've cleared the first wave of drones. The level 1 manager has correctly advanced the state, but you're seeing the enemy spawner. No valid spawn point entities assigned. This is puzzling. It strongly suggests that the initialize function of your enemy spawner is being run again unexpectedly after the first wave. The initialize flag we added should have prevented this, but clearly something is still causing it. Let's add some more targeted debugging to pinpoint exactly when this is happening. I'll modify the enemy spawner. Script in the canvas to add the entity's name to initialize logs so we know which spawner is logging in case you have spawner wave 2 active. Spawner wave 2. Oh. I think that might be why. This guy, spawner wave 2 is active. Enemy spawner. Well, I do have it active, actually. Yep, you're right. You're right. Spawn point 2. Spawn point 1 is there. Actually, this guy should be 0, 0, 0. 26, and then this guy should be 26, 4. And then this guy should be like right here. 120, 24. Launch. The error should go away now. What? No valid spawn point entities assigned during initialization. Oh, maybe I need to do that. Launch again. Hold on, parse. Parse, launch. Yep, that fixed it. Solent, my head. Where's my rifle? Right, fragments just keep moving down the road. Drones, standard drone industry models. I'm still at war. If drones are here, this whole city is lost. Need to find Lorenz. Okay. That works. Alright. Party. Party time. Here's the code that made that work. Here's the editor. Party time. Party time. I'm trying to adjust the light. Hello? 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 Why isn't it? Oh. I'm looking at the stream, which is delayed by like a minute, so I'm like, why isn't it changing? Yes. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys coming to the stream. I'll be back. And until next time. What should my catchphrase be? I don't know. Stay hungry.